Welcome back to another episode of the Mixtape Queens podcast, where we interview artists and creatives worldwide. If you're new to our channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button and drop a comment down below to let us know how you enjoyed this episode.
The Mixtape Queens are on a mission to spread music and spread love around the world.
If you would like to make a contribution to help us with our mission to spread music and love worldwide, go to mixtapequeens.com and make a donation there. We also have a plethora of other merch items that you can check out, like our Mixtape Queens cups, which are available on the website as well. On today's episode, we had Descendent and Dupes. Descendant is our first returning artist that we've had on the Mixtape Queens podcast. This episode was so much fun, so check it out.
And don't forget to leave a comment and let us know what you think.
Enjoy the episode. Making his grand return to the podcast is none other than Descendant, okay? The lyrical powerhouse from New York. This MC is all about championing the Black culture, and he's been putting in the work with his roots. And it's really going to a global stage, y'all. So tap in with Descendant, but he's not here alone. He has brought Dupes with him. Okay, they have collaborated on this massive, dope project. Okay? You know what I'm talking about? Convergence. Tap in. Welcome, Kings. Thank you for stopping at the Mixtape Queens podcast. Descendant, it's good to have you again. And Dupes, it's nice to see your face.
Hey.
Thank you for having us. Of course, that was a dope intro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here. I'm looking around. The environment looks nice. Vibes is nice. Everybody looks lit. I'm ready to rock.
Ooh.
Everybody's skin glowing.
Yes.
Popping.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah.
And purple is my favorite color, so I love that hue. I love the glow, the hue. You understand?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
High vibes, and it's winning season.
Royalty.
That's right.
Purple means royalty.
That's right.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
And it is a winning season for, all of us as creatives and artists. And, speaking of a winning season, y'all tip. Y'all with it.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay? Y'all just put out this dope project, which we're going to get into pretty soon. For those of you who do not know who Descendant is, I'm going to go ahead and let him, start and tell y'all a little bit more about his backstory. So, can you go ahead and give them the rundown, and then Deuce, we're going to get into you and let them know about you as well.
Sure. Once again, I am a independent artist, rap artist, filmmaker, songwriter, script writer, actor, storyteller. You know what I mean? From my perspective of where I came from. I'm actually from Newport News, Virginia, and I'm based out of New York City. I've been doing music for a very long time, consistently. I'm all about, a lot of people ask me, well, what's your music about? It's about life experiences that we all go through. Nothing happens the same at the same time, in the same place, things of that nature. Life comes at you in all different directions. So I feel like that's how music should be. And that's what my music represents. And that's what I'm all about at the end of the day. There's always a message in my music, in my videos, in my films, and things of that nature. Just like our new project, Convergence. It's an action-packed project with so many messages that everyone can relate to. Two cultures, two genres, multi-genres collide for this beautiful art that we call music. You know what I mean? So that's my, basic background as far as me as an artist.
All right, cool. So, hey, everybody. Thank you for welcoming me to the podcast. I go by the name of Dupes. I'm a singer, songwriter, father, family man, all the above. Do-gooder. I represent the island of St. Lucia. I just love making music, love meeting people, love representing my culture, my island. just so many influences throughout my life between growing up between the states and growing up in the Caribbean, and that's what I love most about like this project, because it really gave me a chance to show a lot of that, like show the mixture of the worlds that I grew up in, from being an island boy to being a city boy to being all of these things. And I love music. I love motivating people. I love talking about love, and that's generally me in a nutshell. Just someone that loves to push positive vibes, carefree vibes, and working with Descendants so far has been an honor, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Oh,
Same here. I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
yeah. Like this is so cool because for us, like we of course have known Descendant for a while, a hot minute,
1 minute.
okay. And of course, supported this king through his journey as an artist, as a creative, and we can get into that deeper later because Descendant, your marketing is like for your art and your music and your craft is like spectacular. You really take the time to think
Thank
about
you.
how you want to
Appreciate that.
promote your music or your project that you just dropped or projects that you've had before. So, of course, we love that. We love the work ethic. And, you and Dupes
Thank
doing
you.
this project together is, like you guys said, it really is a convergence because it's two different sides of the coin coming together. And it's just dope. Real dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a process to come up with the songs. The journey is what's important. And on top of the journey, first of all, I just want to thank y'all for actually saying that, promoting my music. I think a lot of times as artists, we get lost in the content creator thing, which I don't believe I am. I honestly don't like social media, but at the same time, I'm not going to let what I don't like interrupt what I'm trying to accomplish. If anything, I dive it in head first as far as something I don't like to get it out the way. But it means a lot more to me that people notice the creativity in promoting my music rather than just for a laugh. People who just look at it for the comedy aspect is cool, but that's not what I'm like doing it for. That's not what I pay attention to. I literally pay attention to the people who admire the content for what it is about. And I'm glad that you said the music because we can get lost in the content creation and being funny and things of that nature and forget what we do it for, or people may not recognize fully why we're doing it. We may get discouraged. And it's tough, especially on social media, because they will shadow ban you within a moment because you're promoting yourself. But the moment you do something funny or the moment you do something that's not really promoting your passion, it's just like everyone in the world sees it. And that could be discouraging. So I really appreciate y'all for saying that, because that's what I do it for. I really do it for promoting my music 24/7. That's what the platform is for. Besides that, it's just been a journey to create this album with me and Dupes, being that we both live in two different cities, traveling. It's been a journey to record this album, and the messages that we have and the content and the lyrics and all of these things means a lot to us. So we really appreciate it.
Oh,
Well, y'all are on a powerful journey because that's why Instagram and Facebook has been shadow banning some people because we're at a war for freedom of speech. And our freedom of speech is under attack when they're censoring free speech. Happened to us recently talking about doing a detox. We did a detox with our herbalist and we were just talking about it on live, drinking tea, talking about drinking tea, and they shut down her business and everything, took all her store off of Instagram and stuff like that. So, this is a big topic that we need to shine some light on.
yeah.
Absolutely, because it's funny. Before we started this interview, I just received an email for an ad that I'm doing about a show that I have coming up, and it's just like, oh, this is false advertisement. You are like, if I don't respond within 24 hours, they're going to take it down and block me from doing ads and all this other stuff. And I'm like, for a show? This is what it's come down to. Now is just like extra fees, and they're literally trying to make it harder and harder for you to be heard, for you to be seen. And this is why I urge artists or creative business people to get the people who really support what you do off of social media. And what I mean by that is if you have a website, if you have an email list, the people who are really interested will go to your site and sign up to your email list, to make sure they are in tune or stay connected with you, whatever you do. And that's why, because we've had times where Facebook shut down and people lose their mind. We had times where Twitter shut down, or Instagram, whatever, TikTok, and people lose their mind. But I'm like, you have to get people off of these platforms and into your world, so that way there's no algorithm on your website. There's no algorithm when it comes to email lists, because the people willingly sign up to your email list. So that obviously they want to know what you do, or they willingly go to your website. So they obviously are interested in what you do. So I definitely advise in people, regardless if you're an artist, business owner, you're a painter, you're a poet, you're an author, you're a writer, you're a filmmaker, whatever, have an email list and a website. Have both if you can. Some people may say, well, having having a website is expensive. An email list is free. You know what I mean? So you got to start somewhere, because these platforms are just like ads now. Because I remember when social media was social networking. I don't know. In the beginning, it was all. Remember, like especially in college when Facebook started, it was like social networking. You wanted to network with the people. Exactly. In your area, whether the school you go to, connecting with people around the world. When social networking turned into social media and it was a free for all,
Lost the plot.
now we're competing for attention. Right. Now it's just ads, and like and if you don't pay for ads, it's like your content may not get seen or things of that nature. Like it's like a tug of war
That's literally
for
what it
people's
is.
minds, for their
The
attention.
attention economy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. It's that's why I say the music business is the people's business. If your music is not touching the people, what good is it? I mean, you can say, "Oh, I wrote this for myself." All right, then why'd you release it? If this album was for yourself, if this song was just for you, and it doesn't go well, and you go, "Oh, it was just for me," then why release it?
Especially if you're
Then keep
only
it to
tracking it
yourself.
based on what it does commercially, or how many likes or how many views that it got, versus the intrinsic impact. And as you guys can see, we literally just diving into everything. So it's amazing, because like I'm just hearing so many different themes and so many things come to mind, where it's like, well, yeah, like that's what the website is. That's what the mailing list is like building your house and owning your own car. Because yeah, the streets is free. The mall, you can walk into it when it's open, when it's closed, but there's a tax. Somebody's controlling that, and freedom of speech is very important. I think I don't even want to use the word think. I know that that's one of the reasons why I do music, because that is how I express myself most freely. That's my version of freedom of speech, because it's like it's to the point where I don't even sit to write anymore, because I have the studio right in front of me. So as soon as it comes to me, I record it. And if it makes sense, then it stays. If it needs to be clarified, then I clarify it, not just for myself, but maybe for the audience that I do intend it for.
Period.
So we
And
say
you
we
know
say
what?
a
I
lot.
really love those answers. I know, I know. And I really love what y'all are saying, because for me, like what y'all are saying, especially what you just said, Descendant, about like connecting with your audience is more valuable than
Yes.
doing the clout to get the attention of the audience. And
Absolutely.
I agree with that. And I even
Right.
heard one of my favorite artists is Kaylani, and she made this post in her
From the West
she
Coast, right?
made this this post
Yes.
a couple months ago, and it said, if you're a creative and you're an artist and everything that you're doing is based off of cloud, you're not building genuine connections with people. You have to understand that we need people in order to sell shows. We need people in order to get,
Right.
for our music to be streamed. So
Yeah.
it's like, without the people, what is yeah.
Yeah, let's
Don't
talk
exist.
more about that because there's people listening right there right now. Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? What do you mean? Like so like a website is expensive. First of all, no, it's not.
Mm.
All the bottles and bottle popping and things that you're doing are expensive too. That's an excuse. That's an excuse.
like
It's
that. I like
expensive
that.
to eat. It's expenpensive. Every day is like
He said it,
$250.
not me.
Okay, so
People be penny pinching their dreams as well.
yeah,
They're penny pinching
That I like.
dreams
People are penny
instead
pinching
of-
their
Yeah,
dreams.
honestly. And
Yeah.
and then on top of that, people would penny pinch. People would penny pinch supporting what they say they like.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well, when it comes to, especially music, is because, like, unfortunately, because of Napster and LimeWire, for those who, all my millennials out there, when it first came out, the answer to that was the streaming, right? But what happened with streaming is, and in Napster, it downgraded the value of music. So, like, the new complaint about especially rap music is, oh, everyone raps the same, or everyone dresses the same, and everyone has the same beats and same cadence, and it's like, that's not true. There's thousands. Like, unfortunately, we at a market right now where there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of songs being released every day. And you mean to tell me, out of all of those thousands of songs, especially rap songs, everyone sounds the same? No. You're just used to what you're being spoon-fed, and what you're being spoon-fed sounds the same. What you're being spoon-fed, everyone dresses the same. It has the same cadence and the same beat. But the problem is, we all have a phone, right? And we should be able to use our phone the way we want to, not our phone use us, right? So you should be able to search the music and the content that you really like. But the problem is, that means it's work, right? It's almost like when it comes to human rights and when it comes to freedom. Everyone says they want change, but they don't want to change themselves and actually put in the work that it takes in order for those things to happen, right? You have to go to your streaming platform, or you have to go to that artist that you claim that you like out in the open, but behind closed doors in the club is something else. Your action says something totally different. So as artists, we should stop penny pinching when it comes to our purpose. And as people who are, I hate to say fans, but people who support or say they like that type of music or that type of content or that type of film, should stop penny pinching when it comes to supporting, especially if it's like good. And we're just not just saying support it just because it's positive. No, support it because you actually like
That
it.
part.
You know what I'm saying? If you like it, then you should support it. And
Yeah,
that's what it comes
let's-
down to.
Let's go deeper on that too, because what do you say to somebody, an artist that's watching this, for example, that's like, what do you mean they gotta, I have to sell my music? Like, let's be clear that you all do not have your songs on streaming platforms for that reason, because artists are being underpaid for their music, for their streaming, and you guys are standing up to the cause of, artists getting compensated. So, what can we say to somebody that's like, it's hard enough to get people to stream your music for free. How do you really build a fan base and get people to support you in that way?
Comes down to value. You have to start by knowing your self-worth, knowing what your time is worth, understanding that your art took you time to get better at it. It took you investing time, energy. It happens all the time, especially in my country. You somebody books you for a show and you tell them your fee and they're like, yeah, but you're only going to be up there for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, but I have to transport myself there. I have to rehearse. I have to dress. I have to have a band so I can put on the best performance, or have a great recording so I can put on the best performance, so your patrons can feel like they had the best time. So if all of those things have to be at their highest level, why are we arguing about the minimum that I'm asking to be paid? Because the other part of it is that I always look at this thing like creativity, everything has just become a race to the bottom. Nobody is what value am I getting? Even the fast food people are saying the fast food is too expensive. And it's like, well, bro, what do you want me to tell you? Like, at the end of the day, you better off buying some good food and being healthy than to get the fast food and then have to pay the doctor. So it's the same thing with my entertainment. It's the same thing with the TV that I watch and the books I read. When I come across something that is quality, I support it. You artists out there listening to this, you are quality because you are in here in this earth as a human being. Whatever you believe in, if it's universe, God, whatever, you are already quality. Your time, you see, money you could make that any day, you can make it any way. But you see, your time, as far as I know right now, if I learn different, I'll come back and tell you, if they let me, you don't get it back. So you have to ensure that when you're putting something out there that has taken your time, that you're getting the value back from that. So value yourself first. Ask yourself, what am I worth? You know what I'm saying? What am I worth? And you may not have the right number all the time, but you try. And you build a tribe, you build a fan base, you build a relationship with people. You build a relationship with people that are honest with you. You find people like the Mixtape Queens and Descendent that when you tell them something, they say, that's not it, bro. That's not it. That's not it, King. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? And you listen to them. You really have to listen to them. And that's generally what I would tell any artist starting today. That's what I would tell my son. That's what I would tell my niece. I'll tell my nephew. Understand your self-worth. Put yourself out there into the world around people that will you'll know when somebody value you. You'll feel it in your soul. You'll feel it in your stomach. What they say, you feel it in your tummy, that when you're not being valued, and always just keep pushing for that. So when Spotify is offering you micro pennies, because you can't even call it pennies on the dollar, when they're offering you that, when you give them something, don't expect to get that back. So find a place where you could host yourself. It's like, to close it off on that point, is like, if I'm bringing somebody into my house, I want those people to be people of quality. I want to be able to look at them and be like, okay, I'm going to make you feel comfortable here. And I'm going to give you my best. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you my best. And that's, once you start bringing your best, the best will come back to you. That's truly my belief.
And damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, big dreams.
Big
Like,
fact.
we
I'm
really
on that
do.
one.
Like, if you make music, yeah, okay, like the sound that you said, you can just put it out because you're just kind of expressing yourself and you're not really taking it serious. It's like a hobby. But when you are thinking about building a future and a career, doing what you love, you really gotta put in that work. And I think what you guys have figured out how to do is work harder. I mean, work smarter, not harder, right? Because everybody's on this
Right.
grand scale idea of like reaching out to millions of people. Yeah, of course we all want to have our voice heard around the world and get our message out there, especially if we're passionate about the things we're talking about. But we don't all have to. You don't need 1 million streams every video to be successful and get paid for your music. You can scale that down to a smaller amount of people and raise the income by actually getting paid for your music. When you guys put your music on your website for sale, that's a really smart move. Because instead of just trying to spread it out there to millions of people, you just started with, like, say somebody starts with even 5 people, right? Start with 5 people and then double that. Then you got 20, 30, 40 people that buy your merchandise, buy your music, attend your shows. That's huge.
Yeah,
And even
and
those
not to
5
mention
people.
just that. Yeah,
Yeah.
not to cut you off, but yeah, like, not to mention that, just that, it's like there are plenty of artists that people don't even know about. They're not mainstream. They have only 1,000 followers, and they have 500 people willing to continuously buy from them, and they are living off of the income that they are getting from these people they built true connections with out of their artistry.
It's a fact.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be as hard as people make it seem for themselves. It's a mindset thing.
Yeah, it's, mhm.
And it's an industry thing because
Mhm.
the standard, right? The whole standard of the music industry is a facade. You know what I mean? Who set the standard that platinum
Platinum.
selling 1 million records? It's you know what I'm saying? Who set that standard? Who said gold wasn't as successful, right? If I told you, right, let's say like one of my albums, I physically sold like digital and physical over 2,000 copies, right? Now, as an independent artist, the physical went for 12 and the digital went for 10, right? And then people would make, oh, that's just 2,000, blah, blah, blah. If I told you to count the 2,000 right now, I'll say about 500, you would be upset.
Right. You just have
To
to
count
sit
to
there
2,000, like that's a,
one by
you have
one.
to sit there and count the 2,000 people, like one by one, you will be upset. And I'm like, that is a lot of people. Now, I'm not saying that you can't grow from that, but you have to start somewhere. And the problem is, unfortunately, it takes work. It takes work ethic. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the work ethic. They want to hide behind the smoke and mirrors. That's why there's so many people buying streams, because the industry is drilling in their heads that if it's not a certain amount of streams, it's not successful. And the audience of the people will buy into that. So if I promote that, hey, Convergence has over 1 million streams, you just see the word million and it's like, oh my God. But most of the people haven't even heard the album yet. You know what I'm saying? You just heard that it's 1 million streams, but the numbers doesn't equate to quality or good. I know a lot of albums that reach 1 billion
I know a lot of them
streams.
that
I don't
reach a
like the
billion streams
album.
that haven't even heard the album.
You know what I mean? So
what do you
it's
say? I wasn't part of the billion.
right. And had no interest of hearing the album just because it reached 1 billion.
But McDonald's said it too. And
You're
McDonald's
right.
said a billion subs.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about
McDonald's said
what.
1 billion subs. So it's the same thing I tried to tell you. Fast.
But they got the receipts. Yeah. Yeah.
No good.
Still no good.
But no, y'all are like, you so spot on with that, because we see artists every single day, and there's some artists that they just, like, for example, YouTube, the way that you present yourself, the way that you do your artistry, the way that you form your lyrics, or even just put the music together, it comes across as self-expression. It comes across as genuine and unique to people.
Absolutely.
So of course it attracts more people to listen to your music and tap in with your content and see how they can get to know you better and build that connection. And we've met plenty of artists just like that. But then we also see the other side, where artists that can be so immaculate like yourselves, and they have this self-doubt, like overwhelming self-doubt, and they like have a complete lack of wanting to even try. And that's the word
I think we all got to battle that a little bit inside, but I know some people are watching this
Absolutely.
and they're like, hold up, wait, I have work ethic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out here creating my content, doing this and that. Yeah, but are you doing this because you are being in an act of service for the planet and for our future as a collective? Or are you doing this because you get dopamine from likes and views because you don't actually love yourself? There's a really deep message there. What are you really doing this for? And are you doing this to enrich people's lives and shine light and awareness on things that people acknowledge and love? Like, really think about that.
Yeah, and just to bounce off of that, like, for you two, how do you find that creative balance of saying, I know Descendant, you said you don't really like the internet really like that anyway, but how do you find that balance to know your cutoff of where some people get stuck in the troll section and they're worried about what other people are saying that's negative towards them, but they're trying to believe in themselves and they're just having like that struggle.
Abs- Well, number one, I learned to have tough skin at a very young age. I don't want to say I never been bullied because I feel like bullied is like someone is like punching in your face for lunch money or like physically abusing you. Like I've never been bullied, right? And I'm not saying that in a way to be funny or to laugh at or put down people who are bullied. But back in the day when I was growing up, we used to call it being teased. Like I was teased a lot, a lot. And in my beginning stages of being teased, right, I learned a method of ignoring people because when I ignore people, I'm not acknowledging what you're saying. I'm not even acknowledging who you are. I'm like seeing through you, and it would work until I got older and I realized, okay, that's not working. So I started to fire back, right, with vicious words or jokes or whatever, like to get people off me. But I'm realizing as I've gotten older that the method of ignoring people works for me. You know what I mean? That's why I developed my tough skin back at home in Newport News, Virginia, because I've heard the worst of the worst. The most diabolical, wild, mean, like rude stuff you can say to a person. I've heard it all, right? And don't get me wrong, words do hurt, but after a while, I just developed this numbness of it's just their opinion. So that's how I look at the internet, especially on YouTube. Like the most egregious comments I get, it's mostly on YouTube. It's lately it's been more YouTube than Instagram. Instagram has been a lot of DMs of people like I've been threatened before, death threats, blah blah blah, or saying that I'm whack or whatever. I just don't even pay attention to them because most of these people are faceless, they're nameless, there might be bots. Like I can't pay attention to that if my goal and my um purpose is to enlighten and spread light wherever I go through my music or wherever I'm at. Now, some people may say, "Oh, I can't do that." Then now they have social media where you can just turn the comments off. If comments affect you that much, turn it off to the point where people can only just like it. And now they got some points where you can just turn off the number of likes. You know what I mean? So there's ways around it, but I mean, unfortunately, you still gotta have tough skin because they're gonna have something to say. People are jokesters, people are mean, people are rude. People gonna say, especially, unfortunately, when we put music and art out, we are also subjected to people's opinions, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it's sexist, racist, homophobic, whatever. Like it happens. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying we do have the power to not respond. Now, there's been some moments where I did respond, and most of the time, those people are just excited that I responded. Oh my God, I didn't know you saw my comment. Or they play the victim of, oh my God, oh, you're mean. And it's just like, you don't even know me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how it is on social media. And I learned in real life, like going to school and being teased about it. It's just, I learned to ignore it because it's like, I don't even know you. You don't know me. I'm not going to respond to you because 9 times out of 10, people just want you to
attention. They
respond.
want attention.
And once you acknowledge their existence, that's it. It's the same what we want with our music. People just want attention. They don't even
these poor
follow you.
people.
Nobody-
Really, you think about it, like, dang, these people just need love. They have trauma, and it's coming out like this.
It might be
Yeah.
bots. They might be
That's
bots.
the
They
scary
might
thing
even
about
be
the bots,
real
bro,
people.
because the bots
Like,
want attention too. Because the bots they're testing to see what can I say to this person to make them react. I was bullied.
Absolutely.
And
I
Absolutely,
left
yeah.
yeah,
America.
the AI.
I was bullied. I left America at 7 years old. I went down to the Caribbean and just dropped into a school, and everybody's like Yankee boy, da 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 da, this speaking Creole, speaking languages I wasn't really clear on. And my defense mechanism for it was just learn the Creole, learn what's wrong, focus on my talent. I'm 7, 8, 9 because I tried the fighting back, and every time I did the fighting back, I was the one getting whooped by my grandmother. I was the one that was wrong. So I was like, okay, this is not working. we need another strategy. So it really taught me to understand that it's just about understanding cultural divide. It could have been my uniform was a little bit cleaner or my shoes were a little bit newer and people didn't know how to deal with that. And the first thing that came to mind was, yo, let's just make this kid feel less of himself. The imposter syndrome of being an artist.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard the phrase imposter syndrome. I was on tour in Manchester in the UK, and someone was giving a speech on imposter syndrome. And I still feel it today. A lot of us still feel it today. Somebody listening is going through it. And it's this thing where you're telling yourself that you're lesser than yourself, so nobody wants the talent that you have is not real. You're an imposter. You're faking being this. One thing that has really held me down on that is once you go to the analogy that you're building your house, when you're building your house to protect your family or your interests and the people you love, nobody will stop you from building your house. So just take it brick by brick, nail by nail. When Noah was building the ark, there was nothing you could have told him that acting wasn't the right thing to do. So, yeah, and because I always think about Noah. For whatever reason, I always think about Noah. I'm like, damn, like you can imagine Noah going home after 3 days of working on that ark, and he's like, everybody think I'm crazy.
But that's what artists is, right? You, you, you have to do it like even for me. Sometimes I definitely have self doubt, frustration, um, upset about something, or angry that it didn't something didn't go my way, whether it comes to music or film or whatever. But I still do it. I do it unknowingly. I do it with self doubt. I do it afraid. I still make it happen if I'm upset. I still go through, although I'm going through these emotions, I still put it into action because I still believe at the end of the day,
Yeah,
nothing can take me
that's
away
your
from
purpose.
something that was within me, regardless.
That's your purpose.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That reminds me of what I talking about live with this queen that we just talked to, and she was talking about pretty much like y'all are talking about imposter syndrome. And
Man.
I kind of broke it down in this terms of how I picked it up at a young age, what imposter syndrome even looks
Mm.
like from a Disney movie. I'm watching Cinderella. She gets this makeover. She's like, "Oh, I'm a new person. Whoever this is, I love it." She goes to the ball. She meets this person that she really likes, but because of her fear of who she really is, she runs. And what happens? The shoe falls off her foot, meaning that shoe, that person who she was being that
Mm.
night, that wasn't who she really was. Yet, because of imposter syndrome, you grow up in this environment, you're learning that you are
Right.
a slave to society, a slave to the way that people think and are systematically programmed to think. And so she goes back to being this dusty housemaid
With
instead of
rats over
with
there.
rats, instead of stepping into her natural essence or path or power.
Mm-hmm.
And by
Which
the
she had
time
all along.
Exactly. And by the time the prince comes to her with the shoe, and what happens? This time the shoe fits her foot perfect. This time the shoe fits her foot perfect. And I feel like that for me was a symbolism of stepping into who you actually
Literally.
are meant to be. She was never meant to be a peasant or a maid
Servant.
for anybody.
Or
Yeah.
sisters or whatever,
Right, and they were her
whoever they were. I
stepsisters,
think
and they
they
were
were
Yeah.
sisters.
literally
It was
So
sisters and a
making her
stepmother.
feel
But
small. They were making her feel small. They were, and it's crazy.
right,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
is like comments on social media, making you feel
Mm-hmm.
small, making you feel like your music or your music videos, what you're doing is worthless, is pointless. And a lot of times that comes from their self-doubt within. Because people love to put their fear on you because they don't believe they can do it themselves. So let me put my fear on you to make you feel less than, because if you succeed, then I'm gonna look really stupid because I'm scared to do whatever I want to do, or to do what I've been called to do, or whatever my purpose is, whatever my passion is. Let me put my fear on you to stop you. You know what I'm saying? Like that happens a lot.
You know
Especially
what? That just reminded me of that quote from that quote they got from Jay-Z, when he said when he was coming out and he was doing his, he's rapping and that and the third, and his uncle comes to him and says, obviously he says it out of love, but also from a different place because he's in a different mindset. And he says to Jay-Z, "You can't do that. You ain't gonna never be successful in LA." And because Jay-Z felt like, not necessarily that it's ego, but it's confidence. It's knowing who you are in
Right.
that moment and deciding to be that. He says, "You can't
Exactly.
do that,
Mm-hmm.
but I can
It's
do
facts.
anything." You know what I
and
mean?
that's and I think I remember the interview because what it was is that his uncle
All the
just
time,
never
that's what it
seen
is.
it.
When
And a lot of times the backgrounds that we come from as creatives, we don't like. For me, I never had the resources of what a successful musician looks like or artist looks like in my family. So this is just wild imagination that I have with no resources, no background, no nothing. My imagine is like, you got to think of like your imagination or your dreams or your passion is that big that you want to pursue something
Evidence.
you've never seen before in your life. No evidence, no bloodline, no nothing. And you have this imagination of being this artist or being this poet or being this author or being this filmmaker, and you look around your surroundings, your community, you don't know nobody.
Yeah.
But within your heart, you still like, I'm still making it happen. The average person that has that fear of doing that will look at you like you are insane. You
Right.
know, you know nothing, you know nobody, you know whatever, but you still gonna make that film? You still gonna release that song? You still gonna paint? You're still gonna release that book? It's insane to them, especially in this economy. But it's like when you have a passion, when you have the will, when you have phenomenal will, right? Regardless of the obstacles that you're going through, you're going to see it through. No matter
Right.
how hard it gets, no matter the roadblocks that you go through, no matter what people say or what people try to do, because a lot of people will try to like literally stop you from doing something. They'll try to sabotage your show or whatever, but you still going to be like, you know what? I'm still going to go for it. I still believe. That takes a lot. You know what I mean? And that's how you know you have a passion for something, because you just don't. It's hard for you to quit.
Indeed.
Period.
Yeah.
That's a big fact. That's a big fact. Everybody that's tapping
Take
in,
notes, take
clocking
notes, take
that
notes.
tape. Okay.
Yeah, because we all need this. Yeah, like people are chasing this clout and chasing this, and they need to realize it for themselves. We're not
Nah, not
calling
at all.
you out. We're not judging you like, oh, you fake clout chaser. No,
Not at all.
you. We all desire love, and we all desire to be heard and seen. Put yourself out there and think about what am I doing this for? Am I doing this on a road to financial gain, or am I doing this so that I can create a better world and a better future for myself and for other people? And if
Absolutely.
anyone's doubting that, you have to remove those people from your life. Don't accept that. Don't accept that, because
It's
that
hard
stuff
enough.
is energy.
It's
Yeah,
hard
detox
enough out
your
here.
circle.
I like that.
You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that,
Yeah, I like that. Detox your circle. Because it's hard
I'm
enough
trying
out
to
here.
tell you, trying to
It's
tell
hard enough.
you the whole time, sometimes the number one thing that could be holding you back is the company you keep.
Yeah.
And
If you have friends that are not on a journey for personal development, and for growth, then they're gonna keep you stagnant. You hang around with people with low standards, low morals,
shoot,
um, and we're all on a journey of personal development. If you don't see it that way, then I mean you're gonna keep raising kids like treating them like they're
Right.
8 years old and they're already older. That's like
Right.
Right.
how people treat themselves. You're treating
Yeah.
yourself the way you did years ago. It's time to change. Build that fan base, build that circle of friends or that networking, do that thing that you want to do. Put it
Yeah.
out there and do it with heart,
Indeed.
right?
That's
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
message.
That's the message.
you know?
That's always the message.
mhm.
We don't got time to talk about nothing else.
Well, but
I
these
mean,
are how these are how
seriously.
these are how the things happen. These are how
Seriously.
collaborations happen. Like I think both along our journey as musicians, we've all met different people, worked with different people, great people, some people that just not as focused. And like when Descendant and I met, we just kept the link. That's what I call it. That's what we call it in my culture. You just have to keep the link, and it's like eventually things will manifest. It started by me sending him some beats, and then he was like, "Well, he's working on a project for himself. Do I have anything that sounds like this?" And then we just keep working on music. As I'm working on music, as a producer who's in my network that I would love to hear on this beat, I send it to Descendant. We make some songs together. That grows over a period of time, and it's like, well, let's do a project together because like this can be more. We could serve more people. We could reach more people. We have more things in common than we have against ourselves. So why not put that down as a project?
Yeah.
And you know what? Even more importantly, let's put it in a place where the people that value it get to show us how much they value it. You know what I'm saying? They don't, because
Yeah.
it's back to the streaming thing again. Yeah, you tell somebody to stream, but it's like it's so low vibration, sometimes so low, so easy to do, they don't even do it because they were like, I'll get around to it. But like this morning when I'm sending out text messages and I'm like, hey, I was going through my mailing list and I realized I didn't tell you that I have a project out. Check it out. Somebody texts me back and they're like, is this AI? I was like, no, this is not. This is Dupes. But I guess I'm so much in my vibe of just connecting with my fans one-on-one and, and seeing. I swear I had the notebook there. Like I have a notebook where it's just filled with my fans' information. It's just my notebook and it's just like, oh, there's an email, there's a phone number. Let me reach out to these people because when I was having a concert, they were there. And I sold 2 copies of the album this morning. Descendant and I come up with ideas for like raffles and giveaways and yeah, people are like, I don't know, I don't buy music. Like, but you buy food. You know what I'm saying? You buy a ticket to a show, you go to the club.
They're getting me hyped up with their notebook. I'm over here like, oh, notebooks. Like, I mean, if you can see it, if you can just see us, because we are all about productivity. Yeah. And we use something called Monday.com. It's like $50 a month and it organizes all of your creative projects. You can collaborate, you can put statuses. Yeah, Monday.com. So like we funnel, like when someone you submit on our playlist, it comes through our Monday.com. We can send emails, we can make appointments, so anyways, we get all these things like client projects, personal projects, our budget, our playlist stuff. We got so many boards. Anyways, we're going through on our made board because every single day we sit down, we got a little green tea, and we're like listening to our beats, and we're like, our little blue glasses on, and it's like it don't matter how inspired you can stay, you're always gonna hit that moment like, okay, I'll just do one more thing. Something how can we do? I'm like, every day I do 5-10 things. I mean, I'm doing the work of 10 men over here. So is Amanda. We're putting in work all day, every day, 12 hours. Like, how can we just increase this? Like, it's not good enough. So we put all these things in our Monday.com. We had a list of 30 things. And we sat there and color coded each one, put deadlines on each one. And we sat here for the past 2-3 days. We accomplished like 30 things each every day. I'm like, okay, now that I have this system, I could probably do about 60 to 100. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, track all that down.
Yeah.
Preparation. Right. It's all about preparation at the end of the
That might
day
be the bare
and
minimum.
being prepared. And it goes back to like work ethic because people as independent artists, they just look at us as just the
Mm-hmm.
music. But it's like independent artists, no. Or I like to call it a DIY
Yeah.
artist, do it yourself. We have to do everything. So not only you got to do the music, you have to send out emails. You have to reach out to the DJs, to the radio stations. You have to have a planner. You have to have a schedule. You have to set your schedule yourself. You have to talk to fans if they reach out to you. You have to send the email out. You have to update your YouTube and your website. All of these things is on you if you don't have a team. You know what I mean? So people look at like artists like LaRussell or artists like Russ, or they look at Chance the Rapper. But it's like the biggest difference is they have a team with them that can do those things so they can purposely just focus on
Mm-hmm.
the art, the music, the concert, the however they whatever they have a passion for, and until you get that, you literally have to do everything, and it's exhausting because some people hear that as like, oh, that's a flex. No, that's not. It's exhausting to try to do everything by yourself. That is one of the most exhausting things ever because there's always something to do. You're never bored, and
Yeah.
let's not even
Yeah.
talk about reading
Royalties, stuff like that.
contracts and or hiring an attorney or entertainment lawyer if you need it. You know what I mean? Like people, yeah, royalties, learning how to copyright, learning your publishing and registering your songs with BMI or ASCAP or Song Trust or whatever. You know what I mean? Learning how to submit every time you have a show, submit the songs that you got registered so you can get paid for live performances. Everything. When somebody plays your song on the radio, you get credit for like all of that is involved in being an independent artist, being a DIY artist. Like it's a lot of work, and I'm not complaining, but people just think that it's just the studio release a song. That's it. No, that's the. And in fact, releasing an album is the easiest part. The hardest part is continuing to promote it because some people will half-ass and only promote it for a week and it's like you never hear from them again. You never hear about it. It's like I spent way too much time, effort, money, invested my energy into this to
We see it all
release
the
it and
time.
only do it, post about it once for the first week and
No
never
tolerance.
hear
Zero
about it again.
tolerance.
And it's, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you, if you really
Yeah.
in this for real, you have to be. I'm proud of what I do. Anything I put my name on, I'm gonna go all out for every single time, and I'm not gonna make excuses. Yes, things come up. You may have to reschedule something. You may have to adjust, or you may have to take a break, or whatever it is. But that doesn't mean I slack off because it's all on me. Excuses are just blocks to get to your purpose. Because when you are an artist, it's just you. Your excuses are just for
People too
you.
busy worrying
Whatever
about their own
excuse you have,
problems.
it's just blocking you. It's not hurting nobody else. So it's like you can't feel nobody can't feel sorry for you for the excuses that you make for yourself. If you have a deadline, oh, it's the worst.
I can't stand excuses.
No, seriously, that just listen. The
Ugh.
annoyance that she had for
I
excuses.
do not do
It's
excuses.
not at all funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like she cannot stand. Like when people say silly stuff, like they'll, sometimes we'll hit up an artist and be like, "Hey, did you ever, release this project? And this, and this." Well, I'm working on it, but I'm at the gym right now, so I can't do this. Or I'm like, wrong answer. We don't do excuses over
We
here.
we hear the
And
best
it,
excuses that you and well, there's some people that write a whole excuse
Yeah, like
about why they can't. Oh, well, I gotta go to work and then I gotta do this. Like by the time it took you, yeah, by the time it took you to write this whole thing. Anyways, excuses. No,
basically.
don't
yeah,
stop doing it to yourself. First of all, The
I had a
dumbest
relationship.
excuses are for yourself. For yourself. Because it doesn't do anything but hurt you.
Yeah.
Nobody really cares.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
For a comment and a like, that is wild. That's it. No, but right. Nobody, and that's another thing as artists that we have to realize too. Yo, nobody cares, right? Like, I hate like people think because they do music or because they know how to rap really well, they can put words together, they can sing their hearts out, that people just gonna automatically be like, oh my God, and just buy whatever.
This is
No,
urgent to us. Like if your message and your purpose
right.
every day when you wake up, your purpose is not urgent. Like seriously figure out what that is. Get a book, ask a friend, phone a friend, do something urgently because you think
They're gonna get a book.
Yeah, because it, the problem
hmm,
is a lot of times people think that this is easy. Unfortunately, because we're in a time frame where the major labels, right? Because they're the ones who get most of the shine, the media, the social media attention, the news, the TV channels, whatever. Because
hmm,
the bar is set so low,
whew,
and it's become we're still in this microwave era. People just look at it like I'm gonna get a bag, and it's not that simple. It's very difficult, and honestly, the easiest part is getting on. The hardest part is staying on, having a legitimate and having longevity in your career. That is the hardest part. Like take LL Cool J for example. The man has been doing it for 40 years, and he just put out an album, and he's still sharp. 40. Think about that. He's been doing it since he was 16. He's in his like mid 50s now, and he's still sharp. He doesn't sound outdated. He still loves it. You know what I mean? Like it's still there, and he's still out here. He's in our faces because he still cares. So
Yeah.
mm,
you have to realize that regardless of what your resume is, because LL said this, I know people don't care about your resume. All right,
Being an
is this
idol.
dope? Is this album that you're releasing good? Is this song that you're promoting great? And how are you going to get their attention if you're scared to talk about it?
Mm,
If you're making excuses on
mm,
promoting it, if you are
yeah.
lackluster or like lazy attitude, right, towards your own art, like how does that make sense? And you're going to convince somebody with that mindset, how are you going to convince somebody that they should listen to
Mm-hmm,
your music? How are you going to convince
Yeah.
somebody they should watch your video or
mm-hmm,
come out to your show or buy your merch just because you know how to sing well or rap well? Nobody cares about that, but you have to make people care. So how are you going to do that? And it's not going to be easy. It's going to take some time.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? It's like building a house. You need the foundation. Then it's the frame. Then it's the roof. Then it's like the walls. It takes
mm,
time. And if you want longevity, unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. People think this is an easy money bag real quick. And for
mm.
some people, it may be, but it's not going to last long. We've seen it
And you just,
plenty of
and
times.
once you
And
run
that's
that
with
route, then it's
anything.
shortcuts.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
care.
saying?
It
Once
don't
you
have
start
to be
taking those
music. It could
shortcuts,
be
you
a
stay in those
carpenter. If
shortcuts,
you
you
just
just
looking
stuck.
just to get
That's
money and you have
shortcuts
passion
and
for it,
excuses.
people are
Those
going
two
to stop
things
calling you and
are
hiring you
problems.
to
That's why for
come
me,
to their house and then work on whatever they want to work on because, okay, you just looking for
Yeah,
the
tell
money.
them, Dupes.
So they'll go out of business.
I don't know. Shortcuts lead to
Dupes,
long delays, and
tell the
trust me, right now,
people the moral of the
urgency. We
story
all need to
because
be in a state of
we're really at a point
urgency
here in
about
history where
serving
it's
one
our
another,
duty
about
to get this out
inspiring one
there.
another,
Tell
about
tell the people.
influencing one another, about teaching
Yeah.
one another, preaching. You know what I'm saying? You know, my if my camera cut off, I can say, well, you know what, my time is done. Let me get out. No, I figure it out, come back,
Yes,
because
there
the
you
message
go.
has to be. What is it? The revolution will not be televised. Well, now it will be
Yes.
because trust me, you know, we out here, and there's many different versions of television, you know. So and that's it, you know, and those are the themes we talk about on the project. You know, it's just like putting
Yeah, tap in.
Sure.
You know,
For
always
sure.
to-
We're happy to be there, happy to talk. Yeah. We're very happy to be there to talk.
Yeah, tap in because we're gonna start.
Might have to be,
I would like
you
to
know,
start
the
doing
the
this more
mixtape
often
kingdom.
with y'all
Queendom.
and getting our message out there. Yeah, because I mean, this is important stuff.
Yes. And speaking of
Yeah.
and speaking of the project Convergence, I want to ask, like, for you personally, Dukes, was what was the song on the project that you felt was a struggle maybe for you?
I mean, Descendant knows it's supposed to be the most free and most stress-free song. It's carefree, but it was like it exactly
It's
because
not
it's the
that
one where
funny,
you
okay?
want
Because-
you want. It's like food. It's like food, dude. Like when I make food for my family, they are so annoyed because anytime they eat, I always ask them, "How did it taste? Was it good?" You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know that they feel like, yo, like they enjoyed this meal. You know what I'm saying? And I get that from my mom. So it's like when we decided, like,
Hilarious.
Carefree is like really what Convergence is because it's like this island boy, this American boy, they're making music together. Can they really pull this off? Can they really make something that sounds authentically like from the Caribbean, but still have the elements of the hip hop and the R&B at the same time? So that was like a challenge because with hip hop you can be a little dusty and a little offbeat and stuff like that, and people accept it because you know you're coming out the mud, you doing your stuff. But with like island music, there really is like a pocket. There is such a thing as like doing too much or not doing enough, and you know if you're not. At one point while I was working on the record, if I couldn't get up and dance, then it wasn't working. So that was the hardest part. Carefree was the hardest record to do, but it's the one I have the most fun listening to. Carefree. Oh yeah, they don't play.
The universe has a sense of humor.
Really? What about you, Descendant?
Same thing.
Oh my goodness, you're supposed to be carefree.
More than that, but I didn't send you all.
It does, for sure. Same song. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same. That song, because there's
Right.
like at least 5 different versions of that song. Okay, see, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like no, because it was challenging. Like even and not just the mixing and the mastering, but like how to structure the song, the songwriting of what should we put here, what line would be perfect here. Um, we went back and forth all along. This was the longest process of the song, and it makes sense. So when it finally came out, and it's a soca
Just vibes.
vibe to it,
Vibes
soca
is-
sound,
is-
and a lot of people are still not hip to soca.
Right.
So when they hear it and they hear me rapping, and it's just like, wait, what? Like, because usually soca
And
music,
that's
as
evolved
Dupes
over
told
time,
me, is
like,
about
evolved
dancing
over because it
most of the
did
time.
start. Soca is the
That's it.
child of calypso music.
Vibe
which is
music,
all
dancing.
about
There's no real
messaging
message
what's
besides
going on in your
dance.
country. Tell
So
your
when I
people
wrote
should
the
be
song,
like
I wrote the
Wade
song
up
about
the road
carefree, and it's just like, whoa, this is it's
That's
something
what
different.
Calypso is about.
So it
And
was a
soca
challenge.
is like the soul of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like more musical. And after like 25, 30 years, it just became about whining on the road and dancing behind a truck. And there was even like a soca commission that was like, yo, these are the 12 words we're banning from soca this year. Y'all cannot use these words. And I guarantee you, Descendant did not use not one of them. So we won.
So speaking, like I said, of the project, I think that's dope that y'all like really came together and collaborated in such a beautiful way and just really understand the magic between the two different cultures and like the different sounds and like combining it.
Magic.
Can we get a little
Yeah.
snippet,
Let me try.
a little snippet performance?
I'll try. Let me see. I like to sing early in the morning, and I've been singing all day. But the verse of my verse is really about being carefree. I'm gonna try to freestyle it. I'm not looking at the lyrics, nothing.
I'm all right.
Descendant is the real lyric master. But it's I've got to be myself. I can't be no one else. Being carefree is good for your health. I thank the Father every day for every ray of sun that shines on my face. I'm blessed and I'm so grateful to be carefree, living a life of harmony. Nothing you say or you do could bring me down. No, no, cause when it comes to Pamela, I'm the best around. Yeah, don't care what you hear about me, I'm gonna be carefree.
Yes.
And that's the first thing I heard
Okay.
when I heard the demo. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't write.
amazing,
I didn't
dude.
write
I don't know.
until
That's
he did his part.
melody that just
Oh,
in the
that's so
chorus
dope.
part. The chorus helped me write the. The chorus and the production, the guitar. Yeah, the lick that he was doing, I was like, oh, this
Right.
is
Okay, yeah, like the part
that's
of the
what
beat.
came to
Yeah.
my
So
mind.
go and
It's like,
listen
it
to
helped
Carefree.
me, although I'm not a singer, but melody wise, it helped me write.
Right.
Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot.
that's the other thing too. He started singing. That
I'm
was
not
the
singing
that was
right
the
now.
first
Though.
part of the project where he was singing. I was
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
here we
do
go.
all of these things.
Like, now I
I
gotta
went
pull
up
out my
another
auto
octave.
tune, and now I gotta
He made me
vocal
go up another
progress.
octave and everything.
Come on, this
So yeah, that's me on the chorus. That's me and
Just
him,
a
of course.
little
But that's like
tone.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. It sounds because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, because he didn't.
I had to put my engineering hat on. I was like, oh, now I
If
gotta
he
really work.
didn't,
It's the
if he
vibe.
didn't, that
It's the
song would have
vibe,
been
right? It
horrible.
just
He
flows
said,
natural.
I have no when the verse goes,
well, it's your turn to give them
other
a
opinions should
snippet.
never matter. Scared to try, they fear is not a factor. Start a new chapter. Haters bring me laughter. They hear after the gather. They're trying to plaster my glory. You can't never change the story. Keep what you have. You got nothing for me. You want what I got, but you can't allure me. Think I like it, but you bore me. Hey, I just love being me. Tied down to no code or policy. Bad energy for the mental. It's costly. You lost me. I'm too busy being carefree. Don't care what you say about me. I'm gonna be carefree, not leaving
What you
me
say
on
about
empty.
me?
I'm gonna live carefree. They judge me, but simply, I'm gonna live carefree.
Hey.
Then that's all I know.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah,
care
great.
what nobody
Each
say.
Every day. Yeah, that's
I'm gonna live my life,
Good.
and that's it. And I
Yes.
always like to give my little Creole lesson when I speak about my verse, because I say when it comes to pamele just basically means when it comes to not caring about anything. If somebody say you pamele, that means that guy don't care about anything. When it comes to that,
Yeah.
I'm the best around. Yeah.
We love it. That's an anthem for us. We love the song. We're so proud of you guys and
Thank you.
so grateful for y'all performing that for us. And
we appreciate y'all for opening up your platform
Our
to us.
pleasure, our
It's
pleasure.
important, that artists, go beyond the stage and beyond the mic and beyond the studio and actually show a different side of themselves. That we have some intelligence. Like we're just not robots of just performing music, and we only want to be shown in the performance or the music light. Like we can sit down and have a conversation because these songs come from stories that we experience. You know what I mean? Like, so why not talk about it and have people relate more? It's like a music video, right? Because the music video can
Yeah.
bring more light to the song and may tell a different story and may take on another life of its own. But when people see it or hear it, it has a deeper meaning. It's deeply rooted into the music. So we thank you.
Period.
Yeah, and that's what I value the most about this
yes.
interview. That's what I value the most about this interview. It wasn't like, oh, where's this, when is this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, talk about who you are, have a conversation as artists, as we all are, as creatives, and then that, to me, that's just
Right.
what it is. Like, everything doesn't have to be straight to the
Buy
center.
my album. Buy my album.
That's what
Yeah.
let's get to know each other. Let's vibe with each other.
Hey,
Yeah.
run it up.
Yeah, leave that for the end.
That comes after. That comes
Right.
after.
Yeah.
So y'all heard them. Y'all heard them running up. They're gonna be down below in the description. Tap in with Descendant and Dupes to check out their newest project, Convergence, which is available
And our
on
website.
Bandcamp.
Yes.
That's right.
And where else?
DescendantMC.com.
Exclusively
Period.
Bandcamp and our websites,
Okay.
so it's dupes.rocks. And dupes.rocks.
Yeah.
Dupes, D-U-P-E-S
Period.
.R-O-C-K-S. You know what I'm saying? The links are there. And
Yes.
to our fans that are watching and have not tapped in
Right
with the
now.
Mixtape Queens,
Make
y'all
sure you
Thank
follow
you.
them
lock in. You know what I'm saying? It's
at the
as I would say
Queens
back home,
on Twitter.
their vibes.
I'm not Twitter. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Pure
On
energy.
Instagram
you.
and on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Mhm.
The Mixtape Queen.
Yeah, tout côté, everywhere.
Thank you.
Spotify
Everywhere
too.
there's a Mixtape Queens and you
Everywhere.
see them, just gone.
Worldwide, universal. Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
they've created a
welcome. Thank you,
platform.
everybody.
Mhm.
And welcome to the new
I like
earth.
that.
Oh.
Amen.
Every day is a new earth, and every moment is a new you,
Yeah.
a chance for a new you.
Better believe it.
So hopefully this gets everybody fired up to get out
Right.
there, and then when we forget, we'll come back and talk about it again.
New opportunity, man.
Yeah. Okay. So before we go,
Mm-hmm.
you already know I'm about to say my favorite line from one of the Descendant songs. Here we go. Out of my face. Out of my face. Out of my face.
Get out of my face. Get the hell out of my face.
Hey, I was listening so much.
Telling you, man, that song is perfect.
I'm singing that in my brain.
Any
I would wake up out my sleep and literally be like, out of my face. Out of my
Huh?
Have you seen him perform it live yet?
I think we
I
seen
think
it. We saw it
like that, yeah.
Slippery or something. Slippery
Nah,
too,
you gotta
at
be,
least,
you
but
gotta,
I
you
just
gotta be
love-
there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of your.
Let me just take something. The content rollout for that song
Thank-
is
I appreciate
immaculate, and it is hilarious.
No, it hasn't stopped. It's still.
I don't think it stopped either. I think
Yeah,
he's
we
still,
needed
he's still,
it.
he's still doing content for that
No,
song.
no.
No, good. It shouldn't ever.
You always,
Still-
you should
still-
always keep going.
There's still billions of people that need to hear it.
Man, I can just see like 5 years from now, like.
Hey, I like that. I like how you think.
blown up somewhere. People
Like-
are gonna say that.
Like you
Like
see
it's
how
gonna be
It's just gonna keep growing.
or like get out of my face with that.
you see how
extra
people ask.
stuff,
They ask
man.
people. They ask you, "What's a song you wish you had produced?" Like Descendant and I have some great songs together. Like Black Survival is like one of my favorite. But if there was a song I wish I had produced, it's that record because it's like. The way I be telling people get out of my face, especially when I'm on the train.
It's a passion project.
Maybe y'all can do a remix.
Might have.
We might just have to. Don't even say maybe.
Yeah.
That might happen.
That just might have to happen.
roll,
Yeah.
out, roll out the remix. I'm still
no
gonna
problem.
play it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
listen to it every day.
I'll make a dance hall version.
That may be hard right there.
Send me the steps. I'll make a dance hall version.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
gotta
time.
be it.
Yeah. Right. Keep killing me. I got time. I'm pretty big. Yeah. Well, y'all need to have a beautiful and blessed weekend. Thank you again for stopping by Mixtape Queens
sure.
Podcast. Like
For
we
sure.
said before, y'all
Always.
everybody that's listening, tap in with Descendant Dupes.
For real.
Listen to Convergence on their website and on Bandcamp exclusively.
right.
So,
Thank you so much.
all right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.